Well, this is a first. We are winching down a rock step. Jeez! We're down, boys. Most brilliant idea I've ever done.
That's a dumb, definitely disgusting decision.
Ended up having a lot of rain during the night last night. It's kind of backed off a little bit now. We've been laying in bed for the last hour and a half, just sitting out the rain, and now we're cooking a bit of brekkie under the shelter here, trying to warm up with a hot Saturday breakfast.
A hot Saturday breakfast. Oh, crack an egg. Crack an egg.
Brekkie's ready.
That's overflowed.
Hey?
That's overflowed.
Exploding breakfast.
Quite a wet day today. We sort of had to pack up in the rain there. Going to finish off the rest of this Baal Bone Gap trail. Well, it's now turns into Morford Trail out to the Castlereagh Highway, and then we'll shoot up to Kapiti and head into the Turon National Park today.
Cup of tea?
Kapiti. You want a cup of tea at Kapiti? We are down in the Turon National Park now, making our way along this Turon River track. I don't even know what it's called, but it runs along the Turon River. It's a beautiful little track, heaps of nice creek crossings along it, heaps of campsites. Quite a few people camped out here this weekend. It's Saturday now, and it is very wet. I looked up the weather, looks like it's going to be raining for the next 3 days. Very wet and cold out here, but still good to be out here. It's not good to be out here. Horrible. Oh, cold.
So cold, so wet, rainy, but still beautiful out here.
After that Turon River track, I've sort of headed out through the park onto, I forget, what was it called? Bar Trail or Bar Ridge Trail it is that we're on. Just absolutely awesome views out across the mountain range and valleys out here, and you got like, there was sort of still light rain at the moment, but you got like all the fog and mist through the valley. Some good challenging not too hard, but you know, some good four-wheel driving, nice little fun low range hill climbs, and that quite a steep track. Comes to a dead end. It's only 3 kilometre tracks, you have to go back down. We just wanted to come up here to the end to have a look and see what it was like, but definitely worth doing. just reached the end of that Bar Trail. Just comes to a gate 3 kilometers up along the ridge line there. We'll just turn around and start heading back now. Still an awesome fun drive. And we'll head back down to the river there, maybe have a swim, have a bit of lunch.
Is absolutely ravishing stuff.
We're on the final descent down out of this trail now, back down to the river. There's a group of 5 4-wheel drivers in front of us, and they're sort of taking it a bit slow, packing these ruts as they go. It's a bit wet out here, and I think they're a bit worried about sliding down off the hill. Just kind of pulled up here waiting for them to get off in front of us a bit. May even collect a little bit of wood here for a fire tonight. I just used this big 500 katana boy, silky boy, rather than getting the chainsaw. My chainsaw's a bit blunt actually, I need to sharpen it, and this thing gets wood quick anyway. This is where we're pulled up now, having a little bit of lunch. That was that Bar Ridge or Bar Fire Trail, whatever it was, up there, which is quite a nice drive. We just drove for a look down the end of the river there, came to that locked gate. It was a really nice drive along this Turon River track. So have some lunch here, and then we'll have to come back out. Just sort of follow this river all the way back up. That's where we came in at the start. That's like Kappa T is back up in here.
Kappa T?
Yeah, that's where Kappa T is. And then, so yeah, we got to come back up through this campground and follow it back along the other side of the river, back through this woolshed flat, out the other side of that, and then up this one, which is the Pinnacle Fire Trail, and that'll take us through to Sunny Corner. So that follows sort of where we need to go. If we keep going a little bit, there it is there, Pinnacle Fire Trail. So we want to follow us through to Sunny Corner, which is quite a good drive through all of that. Pulled up here now, back on the river, having a little bit of lunch. Just heaps of like awesome campsites and spots all along this river everywhere. You don't sort of have to stick to the main campgrounds. This one's even got a nice like table and that there. We were thinking about maybe camping here. It's like 2:30 now. We'll see what we decide after have a bit of lunch. Quite a few people out here. Sort of amazing how many 4-wheel drivers and other people are out here on a freezing cold rainy winter weekend. It's still beautiful out the bush in this weather though. It's still super nice to be out here, and it's not like it was just consistent raining. That's when it's painful, but this sort of in and out of showers is quite nice. We decided to keep going after lunch. Just going to continue back right out the other way towards that Pinnacle's Fire Trail, because that's what we're going to take on tomorrow. So since it's only early, just to figure we'd do a bit more driving and have a bit more of a look around for the afternoon, take in all this beautiful scenery and river crossings. We eventually found ourselves a nice little camp spot, not on the main river, but on another little creek. Can't remember. Do you remember what this creek was called? Colamine Creek?
Yeah.
Something like that. But we just got a spot out in the middle of the bush to ourselves here down in the creek. Set up camp here and settle in for the night. Weather's not too bad at the moment.
cleared up for us to set up.
Yeah.
That's great. If we have another clear night, the better part like last night, it'd be great. Alright, time for a swim car down there. You coming? Who's ready for a nice, refreshing summer swim?
I don't know why I'm not coming.
Yeah, it should come in. It's like warm out and the sun's out. Every time I get in, I regret this. But then I feel better once I get out. But getting in is not good. Woo! That's good. Oh. We've actually got some sunshine and blue sky today, which is quite exciting. Sort of had a fair bit of rain and clouds on this trip, which has been good, but it's good to get some sun. After 2 or 3 days of rain, you're always keen to get some sun again and dry out all your gear and everything. That's why we're sort of trying to dry out as much as we can now in this sun. Then we're going to pack up camp and head up the Pinnacles Fire Trail, which is the only way out of this unless we go back to Kapiti. So Pinnacles Fire Trail is the way out the other side. All the other tracks are dead ends. And that'll take us through to Sunny Corner. Just doing a few morning checks on the car. It's always good to open up your bonnet and have a look through the engine bay, check your oil, check your coolant, get in underneath and check out your CVs, steering arms. I don't know, like you just kind of have a look around, make sure there's no leaks, nothing broken, no loose nuts or bolts. Actually, before this trip, one thing I had done, because people always ask me various mods I do, so I kind of name them as I go. I got a platinum mechanical and suspension throttle body control pipe put in there, which is basically like it's for your intercooler piping. It's a hard piping that replaces one of the plastic silicon factory bits of pipe, and they are known for blowing out, which has happened to me a couple of times. Happened to me like 3 or 4 times on the old one. I remember that actually happened on one of the videos. I was driving on the beach, just went bang and blew off, and then once that pipe blows off, because it gets like, I don't know, the intercooler piping gets the pressure in it, and then it's too much for the factory piping, blows off, and then your car goes into limp mode and you basically lose like 80% of your power. So I got that pipe replaced before it happens to me this time out the middle of nowhere. There it is there. So I got my mechanic to do it. He said he had to pull the wheel out, pull the wheel arch out, and then he's able to get into it through there. And then also just before this trip, Dad had some new manual hubs put in. The same as his old ones. They're Hulk 4x4. Now the old ones are really good, but when he had the wheel bearings in the front end serviced at the mechanics, they did new wheel bearings and that, and one of them didn't get put back in properly and it exploded like a few kilometers down the road. But I told Hulk what happened, and then I said it's not really your fault, like it was just a mistake at the mechanics, but they happily sent us out a new set, so he's got some new manual hubs on again. starting to rain again now. I was checking this mud hole because last time I went through the middle and it was like over my bonnet, but there is sidelines. We just always want to check them carefully. Very nasty hill here in front of us, which I didn't know about. I did aim to bring us down it, but when I got here it looks even a bit worse than what I remember. I remember last time I got to the bottom of it and decided not to come up it because I knew we'd be winching. This time we're just going to go down it, down to the river. Can you do these ones when I'm dropping down? So when I know I'm about to drop down, go like that. Yeah, we came off that Pinnacle fire trail. It's not super long. It continues out through the bush off to the right, but we went left off it and came down into this sunny corner state forest area and down into these tracks and onto the rivers out here. It's very wet. It's not too slippery though. If it was slippery, we'd really be up against it out here.
Not too slippery, just falling down a bit.
Just sliding down the hill. I just got Dad guiding me down here just because it's just like rock step, rock step, rock step, rock step, rock step. But yeah, just nice and slow. We're just breaking it the whole way down, so I don't bust anything on these big steps, and we should be good. Bit of that section, but this is a fair hill. We got to drop right down to the river. I know there's quite a few different sections here to get through. I've just parked my car down there. I still got the last section to go. When I park it on these hills, I either chock it with the rocks, or if I see a big rock sitting on the track, I'll just like nose it into that, and that'll hold it there, and then I'll kind of reverse back up to get off it to go again. Guide Dad down now. At least the rain stopped. It was a bit painful and it was just like coming down pretty heavy. That's that down. Now we just got to check that last section there down to the river, because I know there's a few steps in that too. That's what I meant there about like parking my tire on a rock. You can see there what mud tires do, like they just mould around those rocks once you got air out of them. that nasty hill descent, and we're down sort of where all the creeks run through and the nice little camp spots and that. We're just having a bit of a drive around there on a nice little track that sort of follows along the creek, which is quite a nice drive. And then we're going to pull up soon and have some lunch, just doing a little bit of looking around. Found a nice spot to pull up here and have a bit of a lunch. Nice little swimming hole there. I'll consider going for a swim. I'll see how I feel. We got the cars parked there. There's even a little bit of sun out now. Such a beautiful place down here. Like, it's kind of four-wheel drive tracks all around the area. Just heaps of four-wheel drive tracks and heaps of beautiful river crossings and campsites and everything. Just coming up out of this creek after we had lunch, but it's quite a slippery, muddy exit, and I sort of got up with that rear locker in, wasn't too bad, but I probably made it a bit wet as well. Now Dad's having a bit of a trouble, so he's gonna reverse right back up and then have another go. So much fun up here, like just all wombat holes all the way up the hill. I'm going to give Dad a drive of mine, which he hasn't actually done before, because he can't drive this without any lockers. Like, you need one locker minimum for this sort of stuff. Mine will sort of crawl up, but his has got no chance. I'm going to give him just to see what he thinks, have a bit of a go of crawling up it all. maybe convince him to get a locker for his. He does want to get a locker, he just can't afford it at the moment. He will get one eventually. What's it feel heaps different with that locker?
Yeah, that just plain, that just walking in idle.
Yeah, like it just keep driving, whereas yours will just start spinning when it gets there.
Yeah, and you're thinking you got to be hitting the throttle all the time. This thing will just walk the hill.
Yeah. We kind of wound our way back out of that Sunny Corner State Forest, then we came back up onto Pinnacle's fire trail further along. Came out through the farmland and kind of right out the end of that where you come out a Dark Corner State Forest. Then we've just come for a bit of a drive out through this State Forest here, out through some tracks and out through the pines, and then we found a nice little camp spot here down the end of the road. We've got a little creek flowing through it over there as well, and about 4:15, so we figured we'd just set up here for the night. Don't know this area, never really been out this Dark Corner area before, and then we might do a bit of driving around here tomorrow. When we get to camp, first thing I've been doing is getting a swag off the roof, putting it under the awning, putting the awning up in case it rains. We actually have storms out there, so it wouldn't surprise me if we do get some rain. And then get the fire going because it's absolutely freezing overnight, and collect a heap of firewood. Just going to sharpen up this chainsaw. It's gone blunt. Because I've chopped a fair bit of wood in the last week out here, keeping warm overnight. And it's a bit useless once it's blunt. Still Mini Boss 180 this is, people often ask me. I don't know, it's the only chainsaw I've ever owned. I've had it for 4 or 5 years now, but it seems to work well.
Actually,
it just goes,
you have another chainsaw.
it just goes blunt really quick. What's my other one?
The electric one.
No, that was Luke's. I gave it back to him. Yeah, the chain just seems to go blunt on them quick. I think because it's like a bit of a smaller motor in them, so it seems to work them a bit harder trying to cut through the wood. So you're really relying on that sharp chain. Alright, chainsaw is sharpened, topped up the bar oil and the fuel, cut up some wood, and this wind is coming in like ice. That is so cold.
Where did you get this from?
Coles?
How come you never told me?
You never asked. You never said, do we have chewy popcorn?
Dad, you sound like the guy in Karate Kid. You sound like the old man who's like, You never asked that I know karate. Why the hell would I know that you had cheese goddamn popcorn?
Okay.
You sounded exactly like that old man in Karate Kid. He's like,
Yeah,
you
Jackie
never
Chan.
asked that I know. You never asked that I know karate. Like, why would you ask? You're like 60 years old. Do you have any juice in the fridge?
Imagine if I did. I'd say last night would have been the coldest night of our trip. It was just absolutely freezing. I think because we had clear skies and we're kind of right up in the mountains here, up in this dark corner. Everything just went to ice this morning. Just everything was like frozen solid. It was so cold.
We're a dark corner when it's dark and sunny corner when it's sunny.
Well, we're at sunny corner yesterday and it was raining, and now we're at dark corner and it's kind of sunny. Do you want to talk us through your camp setup you got here, since you've been bragging about how good it is this trip, how much better it is than your old one?
The new and very comfortable crash pad swag, drifter stretcher.
You got the King's awning over the top there.
Yep, which has had ice on it from overnight last night and our coldest night out, which made it look like we were really out here. And I've got the table I took out of the set out of the back.
Out of the drawers over there.
Yep.
You got a new camp chair there too.
New chair.
And how's the new drawer system going? What do you think of it?
Yeah, well, you feel like you've got to move around a lot less because it's all there. You pull that drawer out, you've got all your foods and knives and forks and everything like it right there. Fridge alongside it.
Fridge and dual battery system.
Shelter over the top. You move around this small area and cover everything you got to do at lunchtime. Works really good.
So you're super happy with all the setup now? You're living in luxury?
I'm living in luxury at the height of new comforts. I feel like I've moved into the city.
Gonna make the remainder. Nah. Oh, that one's cool.
Objective failed.
What are you in third low now?
Bar Trail, I think. Bar Trail or Bar Ridge Trail. And awesome.
Views?
Yeah, views. Yeah, bar. It's good to be out here. Anything you want to say, Kai? Pulled up on the river here now on this Turon River. We've actually got some sunshine and blue skies today, which is quite exciting. We're sort of trying to dry out everything. It seems to be getting worse at screwing up all my lids. Alright, chainsaw is sharp. Alright, change. Alright.
Chainsaws sharp.
Alright, chains. I can't say chainsaw.
Chainsaws sharp.
Yeah.
Chainsaws sharp.